Alright, what's up y'all? It's Jam and Sam, and looks like we got nobody in here at the moment, but we're gonna finish restoring bonus time, which I didn't get to do day before yesterday. So let's go through, here's one person coming in. Alright, so let's go through each of the channels and like each of the instruments and see what do we need to do to make them sound like the original. And let me pull up I forgot to pull up the original. Alright. Now. Oh wow. Virus. Okay, I'll take care of that later. But let's see. So love your work. Thank you. Sounds like it does a thing where it maybe that's just a note length thing, but basically let's check it out. So already it sounds pretty good right out the box. So let's make it louder a bit. Remember, we want to bring it up to 6. Now I don't know if I want that much distortion on it. Maybe I'm gonna want to add a saturation knob as well. But it sounds like it has a thing where it's like has a short decay. There we go. And then you raise the bass to compensate. And I don't even think I need this saturation knob. I think I just need to raise the... Yeah, there we go. Let me just delete this real quick to save CPU, because we know what saturation knob does to the... has a way of doing this to the computer. Alright. Cool. Perfect. I think that sounds even better than the original. Well, of course it should, you know. See, can't wait to hear you do more DK3 tracks. You don't know. Well, thank you. I can't wait to do more DK3 tracks. So, we got, let's see, that kick might be a little bit, there we go. Now we want our kick to get up to 6. There we go, right up there with our bass. And we also want our snare to go up to 6. There we go. Now, real quick, let's check that against our original. Sounds pretty good. Now, I think the envelope seems to kind of apply that it should be a little bit shorter than it is. I still want it to bleed through the other notes, but I'm not sure I want it to be that long. There we go. Now the toms. Let's see how those sound. How those hold up. Cool. Now those are pretty loud. So way louder than that. That's for sure. Not that loud. Let's bring it to 6 like the rest of the stuff. There we go. Now, are those pan though? Because you know how Dave likes to pan his toms. No, that's not panned. All right. So those are going to be pretty much center now. But I think maybe the is that as long as the toms go? Oh, okay. I didn't. So let me get a little bit more comfortable here. Sorry. All right. So now we got we want to process our sax section. Now I know this is going to need some work because the sax always has problems. Yeah, it currently sounds like it's canned or in some way. And maybe we can do this by just bringing down the middle. There we go. That sounds better. Let's get a high pass on here. Yeah, there we go. Get those highs up. Less people here. I don't know. Don't look at me. I just do the streams. I just build it. They come. But there's a situation. What's the situation with reverb? Because we know that none of the track has 0 reverb, but we do want it to sound like it's in some kind of a room. So I want to take the liberty of doing a subtle reverb on everything. Maybe not the bass. The bass is universally like not. But it's supposed to be in kind of a room. Maybe not the bass and the kick, but for the toms and the snare and everything else, let's try to experiment with a little bit of reverb. Now we know we don't want convolver for like a mass reverb like this. We want to use TSAR. So because it's what we kind of envision it as being in a a studio, that a swing room, or like a club space that in the 1950s, like a swing band would be recorded in. So we wanted to kind of be a small, like a room, like maybe 1.5 seconds. A little bit of snapback and very little reverb. Very subtle. So, and we want to do that for every one of them. Give it 130 and 10, and then da 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 da. Cool. But I feel like the sax kind of has some reverb built into the sample already, so let's kind of skip out on that. Yeah, see, it's like it has. And it's not the delay either. It just sort of sounds a little bit distant. Maybe if I put a saturation knob on here, it would tighten things up a bit. Hey, what'd I do? I did nothing. Here we go. We just need an automation at the beginning of this. And I think I want a little more bass. Like right here. Low mids. Cool. Ba-da-ba-ba. Alright, so this pretty much sounds maybe a little bit quieter. We could stand to bring it down a bit. Compensate for the saturation. Alright. So I'm good with that for now. Let's see, we'll have to wait and see how it plays out in the full mix, but that's really good. Now this is, I need some more bass. Well, actually it needs a high pass to cut off all the really lows, and then cool. Because it's a very high. We might want to cut off those highs anyway, too, while we're at it. And I want those stabs to be a little bit more stabby. So we've got to put on it a compressor, and let's see, just take it down here. That'll kind of like give it a bit more punch. Cool. And last thing is Okay, so the last thing is I want a some saturation on it to bring out the all the little details, bring them up front and center. There we go. Now it pops. See how it sounds with reverb. Ooh, I like it with reverb. But for some reason, does the saxes don't sound good with reverb? Do they? They actually sound a little bit better, subtly better with reverb. Because the reverb is just so subtle, but it's going to make a big difference in the end. So now the piano is, let's see, what we got. Oh, I never gave it a, let's change this to piano. Yeah. Alright. So it's too bass heavy. There's too much mud up in the low mids right here. And it doesn't go low enough. It doesn't go that low but it's got some like higher harmonics here. And we want to like raise the highs a bit and bring out the brightness. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Bring down those middles a little bit. Okay, cool. And now I want to saturate it a bit. Let's see how that does. Yeah, see, it kind of makes it pop a bit. Are you gonna make an actual post for the DK2 Death Jingles? I don't know what you mean by an actual post. I'm not gonna put a video up if that's what you mean. Cause there's no need to put a video up. They're literally just for the MSU patch, so you can play the game with the restored jingles. But I'm not gonna make a video for the jingles. Let me see, I want to sort of illuminate some of the, this part, the presence. There we go. Okay, now the clarinets. Now, I don't think this one needs any saturation because it already sounds pretty saturated. I think anything else would be overkill, and it already pops pretty well. I think we just might need an EQ a little bit. So bring up this brightness here, like, yeah, just a little bit, because all these samples are pretty missing and they're pretty dark, being 80s samples and whatnot. Let's give this some reverb. And I think I want to boost the presence of this one too. There we go, the high mids. Boost the high mids a bit. See how that does. Yeah, there we go. Now it pops. So what else is left? The hi-hats. Now this is actually supposed to be a ride cymbal, but I think they removed the ride cymbal from DK2, from DK3. This is going to need some work on it for sure. Now for sure we want some reverb, because it's a very dry sample. And it sounds really good with reverb actually. But I know I want some saturation because it's very flat sounding. There we go. That sounded much better. Alright. So what else? Might want to EQ it a bit. Get that ring up a bit. And that really ought to be about it. Okay, and then the only thing left is the snare from the wind theme, because it has a separate snare. And I think that's about all it has that's separate. So let me see. Just solo the snare. But it doesn't even have its own track yet. And I think I have a separate track, like a stock track, mixing track for this. No, wait, maybe not. Alright, well, I know kind of what I want already. Oh. Screwing up the project again. Yeah, saturation knob does this every once in a while where it just kind of crashes my entire PC. But that's okay because we have backups that may or may not make us lose a little bit of progress. So wait for it to respond a bit.